Good morning, students. Welcome you all. In the previous video, we discussed about South Africa. Hope you have understood how they have struggled to get their independence and to frame their constitution. Now, after getting the example of South Africa, let's focus towards our India. Now, India also, the story of India, if you look after, that is also not the easy task that we framed our constitution. Behind that also some other stories are there. Some people's struggle is there. How they have framed, how we all now enjoying our constitution. That is all because of behind this some people did the struggle. Let's discuss about in this video about the making of the Indian constitution. We'll look after in detail, but some of the basic things before starting it should have to share with you. Now, first of all, when I'm talking about constitution, so what is constitution? It's a document which contains detail of how to govern the country. In this only we'll get it some rules and regulations. It defines what is the power of government, what government should do, procedure and rules so that the people can live peacefully. And even though in this constitution only the thing is there where it binding on everyone that we should have to follow. If we'll not follow, it's against the government, against the law. So constitution is not only some basic rules and regulation, it has these many things which we are talking about. Now, when I'm talking about the constitutions, so children, for you it's important to know that the framing of the constitutions, when I'm talking about it, so British ruled our country near about 200 years. They made infrastructure like road, railways, and telegraph for their purpose, which is we are also using today. Introducing Western education, which brought the spirit of nationalism among the Indians. After long struggle, the British had to leave the nation. That is all behind this why they were decided to leave the nation. There is also a story. They were weak during the Second World War. We'll talk about it. These are the things which we are talking about the Britishers, what they have given us. They have given us Western education. They have made infrastructures in our India. But at last, what happened when they left our nation? That is, we'll talk about it. Indian National Congress also one which was working a lot, struggling to get our independence. Something about this is very important to know. In 1885, the Indian National Congress was formed. They struggled to end the British rule, but the British did not pay any attentions. They did a lot. Indian National Congress is very remarkable in the history for the struggle to get our independence. As I told you, Britishers why they left it and why we also got a chance to let them to move from India. Second World War made the British weak and the war ended in 1945. As you know, we discussed about the Second World War also. British suffered a huge loss and British started to preparing to leave India because now they have to focus on their own country. They have to build up their own nation. And here we also got a chance to come up in 8th standard. You might have read about it, how our industrial sector developed, how our manufacturing industries developed during this World War period only, Second World War period, where we got chance to come up. And Britishers were so weak, they wanted to focus on their country rather than to other dominated or annexed country. Now, when we talked about it, the constitutions, so the name comes Constituent Assembly. I discussed with you in the interactive session also. The Constituent Assembly is the people, those who are sitting together to frame our constitutions. But we are talking this Constituent Assembly, which is sent by British. British sent a group of officials that is known as Cabinet Mission. This mission was there specially formed to frame the Constituent Assembly that is in December 1946. There was a dispute among the Indian national leaders and the partition took place. As we know that our independence and Pakistan's independence is together. First, we decided that there will be Constituent Assembly which will frame constitutions for both. But as there was dispute, so here took the here took the partition, and after partition and independence, the Constituent Assembly took up the work of framing constitution. I will let you one more thing about it, that when in your textbook it is given that 299 members were there in the Constituent Assembly. That is after partition. Okay, so just don't make it confused if I'm letting you hear 389. There were 308 members who were elected by the Provisional Legislative Assembly. Provisional Legislative Assembly means from the provinces the people were elected. According to provinces, people were elected. So 308 members who were elected by Provisional Legislative Assembly. The Congress ensured that all the communities get equal recognition. Now, set, when this constituent members elected, so here the Congress, which was the leading party at that time, so they ensured the people that nobody will sacrifice, everybody will get the right equality and equal recognition will be there. These are the some leaders who work very effectively during the framing of constitution. Some of the prominent leaders were there, like Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, I'll tell you about him. He is the one who is very played a very vital role to merge the princely states with India. So this is what we are remembering Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Maulana Azad, who worked and focused on the education. Like this, these many peoples are there, like Mukherjee, S.P. Mukherjee, K.M. Munshi, Sir Tej Bahadur, A.K. Iyer, H.N. Kunzuru. These many peoples were there, very prominent leaders while framing our constitution. This person, you knows everyone. He was the one who was the father, called as the father of Indian Constitution. Drafting was formed with 8 members under the chairmanship of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. The committee studied the constitution of various countries and took the good features from every constitution. We took example of every independent country's struggle of different countries, and then after we decided how to frame our constitution. What problem may arises. These we took the example of different countries and then we decided to frame our constitution, which included the theme them in the Indian constitution. Then at last drafted was prepared by February 1948. Children, one mark question answers. The draft was prepared by February 1948. We took example of Britain, USSR, France, Ireland, United States of America. You remember we read about French Revolution, that also given the message to the country. You remember about USSR, the Russian Revolution, which we discussed. Now these all stories let us that through this only we came to know about it, that how we should have to frame our constitution, what point should be included in that regard. Our constitution will be live long life or it will be accepted by all the peoples. Now, even though when we frame a constitution, public opinion, it means it is drafted in the newspaper. After the draft was ready, it was published in the newspaper, and this was done to enable the people to read the draft and give their views on it. Discussed with the great length, session attended, 100 people were there, press were there, everyone discussed, talked about it, debate a lot, then we decided to frame. Now, adoption of constitution. Children, I am talking about these important details about the constitution. Okay, so on 26th November, as you all know, 1949 constitution was finally approved and signed by the member of Constituent Assembly. It took near about 3 years and costed 66.4 crores. The new constitution came into effect, as we know, that 26th January 1950, which is celebrated as a Republic Day. C. Rajagopalachari took over from Lord Mountbatten, if you remember, the last Viceroy or Governor General of India from Britain. He took over, the Rajagopalachari, he took over the power, and now that time he became the first Governor General of India. India became a republic and Dr. Rajendra Prasad was the first president. Now children, what we up till now, these are the important thing which I wanted to let with you, that in December 1929 the Congress had passed the resolution, means that we want Purna Swaraj, full independence. Even though 26 January 1930 it's declared as the first Independence Day, because here we took a resolution, here we decided that we want our independence. Even though on 26 January 1930 we host the tricolor. Although the constitution as a document was ready in the November 1949, but leaders decided to wait till 26 January 1950 to adopt the constitution to came into force to affect it, because it was running and were discussing with the people that whether it is effective, whether uh, it is means suitable, and it is giving some privileges to the people. So after lot we decided to accept and came into force in 26 January 1950. But this is not the only problem. Constitution. One more problem was there. That was with the time of kings and queens. These were the people who were really belonging from the royal family. They were not elected. They were enjoying their monarchy from their, means it is a hereditary. Now, nobody could go against the commands of these kings, and these monarchs were not answerable to anyone. And when independence declared of India, this was a problematic that how these princely states will merge to India, because it's very important to merge. Somewhat they are going to give, we are expecting the economical support from this. Some of the political setup also we are thinking about that will get help from these. So here I told you about that Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was the one who really played a vital role to merge these all princely states to India. Now, when I'm talking about this, what we discussed about the constitution, we discussed about when it was adopted, who were there, what was the situation. But children, it's very important to let you that the circumstances under which the Indian constitution was drawn up. Literally, it was not the easy task. Making of constitution for a huge and diverse country, it means that many, the diversity is there according to religious, according to language, and India is the one who means diversity which is present, and it was not an easy affair to make our constitution. But still I'm letting you, our constitution is the one who is successful in the world. Why? Because we took example of the different revolution which took place in the country. So this is what we took example. Even though we have given right of universal adult franchise, it means the people only electing their members, and this constitution only given this right to the people to elect. So this is what I'll let you. Our constitution is the best, which is really has one more law that if any changes were required in our constitution can be done. The people of India after independence means we were working like a subject under colonial. Now after independence we are going to be declared citizens. So what is emerging? Transferring from subjects to citizens. Second thing, the country was born through a partition on the basis of religious differences like India Pakistan. But when this India Pakistan, this partition took place, but children are let you lot of lives sacrificed, and at least 10 lakh people were killed on both the sides of the border in partition related to violence created by some other peoples. Because of that, these loss of life is there of 10 lakh people. The prince, the British had left it to the rulers of the princely states to decide whether they wanted to merge with India or with the Pakistan. And the merge of these princely states were difficult and uncertain task, but it was solved by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, I told you. And this is what the princely states merge with us. Like British declared when the princely state when declared independence, it is given the task to princely state that it is their decision whether they wanted to join India, whether they wanted to join Pakistan. So here we are able to see that mostly in princely states merged to the India. When the constitution was being written, the makers of the constitution has anxiety. They were thinking about present, they were thinking about the future. Means when they were framing constitution, the question mark was there in front of them. How it will be suitable for the people, how it will be work in present even though for the future. So this was the anxiety in the makers of constitution. Our national movement was not merely a struggle against a foreign rule. We were not talking about it. Struggle actually what was there now newborn. Our country after independence, we have to shift our society and politics from colonial period to our Indian. It means societal changes was there and political changes were also there. The familiarity with the political institution of colonial rule also helped develop an agreement over the institutional design. The experience gained by Indians in the working of the legislative institutions proved to be very useful for a country in setting up its own institution. Whether we are talking about it that the colonials were there, those who had given us lot of trouble, but I'll tell you that colonial only were there who has given us the idea how to run our political institutions, how to design, how the legislative institution will work. So where somewhere they have given us place in the constituent assembly in the parliament of colonials. So because of that experiences we are able to set up our own institution, political institutions. So here colonial government given us idea how to frame political institution of India. Many of our leaders were inspired by the ideals of French Revolution. I told you, practice of parliamentary democracy, how it was going on in Britain, Bill of Rights in the USA. So these all we came together with these points and we decided how to frame our Indian Constitution. They also got inspiration from the Motilal Nehru and the 8 other Congress leaders in 1928 who were thinking that our India is going to be get the independence, and they were that time only started to frame our points for the constitution. So that was also we with this inspiration we also added that point, outlines of Indian constitution that was prepared by Indian National Congress at its Karachi session in 1931. Please remember these two dates of 1928 and 1931. Motilal Nehru prepared a constitution for India in 1928, which was frame was ready by him. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, we are remembering him, the chairperson of drafting committee, Rajendra Prasad, president of the Constituent Assembly, and one of the members, Sarojini Naidu, very famous for the Constituent Assembly member. So many were there, those who were working for our constitution. We'll talk about them in details. Constitution of India was framed by Constituent Assembly and that was set up under the Cabinet Mission Plan. Means cabinet, it means particular political leaders will be there for some of the sectors like health minister, education minister. So with this Cabinet Mission Plan 1946. But I told you assembly consisted of 389 members before partition. Okay. From 389 members representing provinces 292 were there, states 93 were there, chief commissioner provinces 3 were there, and the Balochistan 1 was there. But this is before partition, and after partition 299 members were there as it is given in your textbook. The assembly held its first meeting on December 6, 1946, elected Dr. Rajendra Prasad as its chairperson. Constituent Assembly was also divided into Constituent Assembly of India and Pakistan. We are talking about before partition. Constituent Assembly that wrote the Indian Constitution had 299 members. I told you that is after partition. There 299 members were there, and we adopted the Constitution on 26th November 1949. But it came in force 26th January 1950, Republic Day. We are celebrating as a Republic Day. Some other members of Constituent Assembly here. Just see the pictures and just think about the name like. Dr. Here, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar is there, Maulana Azad is there, and President, you know about him. So these are the people, those who were there, very prominently placed, very vital role they played to talk about our Indian constitutions, very helpful to frame our constitution. But why should we accept the constitution made by Constituent Assembly more than 69 years ago? Many countries of the world have had to rewrite their constitution afresh because the basic rules were not accepted to all major social groups and political parties. So when it was we took the example, I told you, we took the example of other countries and we framed our. In other countries, the constitution exists as just a piece of paper, but in our country, it is really applicable and applicable because of some of the organs of government which working on it, like legislative, executive and judiciary. I told you about it. So this is what our constitutions has some power where we have given some of the weightage also, and people also working, and according to that only they are living in our country. No one actually follows it, where it's just a piece of paper, but not in India. The experience of our constitution is different. Why it is different? No large social group, political party has ever questioned the legitimacy of legitimacy of the constitution itself. This is an unusual achievement for any constitutions. Nobody is questioning it, means our constitution is really very perfect. The Constituent Assembly represented the people of India. Why? Because Constituent Assembly really worked and they included all the points and given weightage, reservation to every diversity which is present in India. It was elected mainly by the members of existing provisional legislatures. The people, those who were there in the Constituent Assembly, these people were elected by provisional legislatures. These ensured a fair geographical share of members from all regions of the country. Means according to the provinces which is elected leaders were there, those who sat in the Constituent Assembly to frame our constitution. The assembly represents members from different languages were there, caste, class, religion, occupation. Why this diversity was there in the Constituent Assembly? Because every point should be included in our constitution, which should give rights to every diversity. Constituent Assembly worked in a systematic, open and consensual manner. Means that nobody was dominating on it. First, some basic principles was decided and agreed upon it. That how we'll work to frame our constitution, what we will look after. Some basic points framed out. Then a drafting committee which was chaired by Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar prepared a draft constitution for discussion. Several rounds through discussion took place on the draft constitution, clause by clause, what point should be there, this should be there, that should be there, this privileges should be given. This drafting committee was working for this only, and when it was discussed clause by clause, so more than 2000 amendments were considered. Every document presented and every word spoken in the Constituent Assembly and has recorded and preserved. Why it is recorded and preserved? Because it is the one. Why it is preserved? Because nothing is there, nothing should be hid. Everything should be open up and discussed, and every Constituent Assembly member should know what it is written in the constitutions. So this everything is recorded and preserved, and children, this is only called as Constituent Assembly debates also. The debates when it is took place and it is written up, when printed out, these debates converted into 12 bulky volumes, which is called as our constitutional book now. These debates provide the rationale behind every provisions of constitution. Rationale means reason why this law should be there, why that law should be there. So every amendment which is written, every law which is written in our constitution, there is a reason behind every act, every amendment. These are used to interpret the meaning of our constitution. There is meaning. Nobody is able to question like why this is there, why this is not there. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar appointed as the chairperson of drafting committee. As you know, again I am repeating, 26 November 1949, adopted, enacted 26 January 1950, become Republic Day, and was the best one, mini India, we are able to get to know up through the constitutions. Those who drafted the Indian Constitution felt that it has to be in accordance with the people's aspiration and change in the society. Like future, it's not rigid. Our constitution is not rigid. It is as according to some other changes required, some law if it is needed to be add or some law needed to be delete. So it is one of the favorable workout done by the Constituent Assembly members, that they said that as according to the need we are able to bring changes in the constitution with the help of legislative and with the help of judiciary. They did not see it as a scared or static or unalterable law. So they made provision to incorporate the changes as according to time, as I told you. These changes are called constitutional amendments. Till 104 amendments have been made in in the constitution. Amendment procedure provided in the constitution is as follows, and there are three categories amendments. How we will do the changes or what are, according to that we'll discuss about it. It's very important for 5 marks. The amendment procedure provided in the constitution is as follows. There are three categories amendment. Like in first categories, amendments can be done simply majority of the members present and voting before sending it for the president assents. If any law needed to be added in constitution, so what should do? Majority members should have to be sign on it, voting should be there, and then the president will sign it. You have read it in 8th standard about the bill pass. That only we are talking about it. If we needs any changes, if wanted to change in the constitution with the help of majority members and the president assents, we are able to bring the changes. In second category, amendments require a special majority. Such as amendments can be passed each house of the parliament by 2/3 of majority of the members of the house present and voting, and then sent to the president for his assent. The previous majority support, and here it should be passed from two houses. Last year what you discussed about it, Mas Lok Sabha is the one who is responsible to frame the bill. It should be given to the Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha should again pass, will be to the Lok Sabha with some of the suggestions, and at last Lok Sabha will present this in front of Parliament, and when it will be discussed and assigned by majority, it will be signed by assent by the president, and it will came into force. Third category, amendment is really difficult to pass. Besides this, specially majority mentioned in the second category. The same has to be approved by at least 50% of the state legislative if it is important. 50%, if it is 50% is also there, then it will, then also the constitution can pass. So here after this all the categories we came to know that how we are able to bring the changes in the constitution, how we are able to do the changes in the constitution, and how it is applicable, and how it is helpful, and how it gives the privileges to our Indian peoples or citizens. So here are Constitution of India, which we discussed a lot. We talked about it. We talked when we adopt, when it came in force, many people responsible and vital peoples are there, those who frame our constitutions, which is really a gift for us, and because of this only we Indians are able to live peacefully in our country. So children, hope you have understood about how we frame our constitution, but yet remain many things is there to discuss. We'll talk about it in detail. So just go through with this next point. We'll talk about what values were there in the next video. Thank you.